Hi students, welcome to the science class. In first class you studied about nutrition in plants, and in the nutrition plants we get some of the food products called carbohydrates, proteins, that's all. But in today class we are going to study about another one new lesson of your 7th standard, that is nutrition in animals. In this chapter we are going to study about what is nutrition, what is meant by nutrition, what are the steps of nutrition, and the steps of the nutrition are ingestion, absorption, digestion, assimilation, egestion, and we are going to study what is ingestion and what is absorption, what is digestion, assimilation and egestion. And also in this chapter we are going to study detailedly about what is digestion, how the food will be digested in our body, how the digestion of humans takes place. Okay, now I am going to start this lesson with the nutrition. What is meant by the nutrition? It is a process by which an animal or a plant takes in and utilizes the food substances is known as a nutrition. What is meant by nutrition? That it is nothing but the process of intake of the food of any living organism and utilizes. The process by which an animal or a plant takes in and utilizes the food is known as the nutrition. What is? Once again I will repeat, nutrition it is nothing but it is a process by which an animal or a plant takes in food and utilizes is known as a nutrition. So what are the steps of the nutrition? The steps of the nutrition are nothing but ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, egestion. When we are going to take the food inside the body, these 5 processes involved in the nutrition. First it going to be injected or ingestion, the food will be intake, and the second step will be digestion, it will be grinded up, and third step it will be the absorption, the grinded food material will be absorbed by our cells, our body cells, and the fourth one is assimilation, they are going to assimilate the food particles in our body, and the last one is egestion. What happens in the egestion? In the egestion process our body removes the waste products from the food particles. So now we are going to study one by one the steps of the nutrition. What is ingestion? Ingestion it is nothing but mode of feeding of a food. It is a mode of feeding of a food. How we are going to take the food, that is nothing but the ingestion. The ingestion is different in different living organisms. Commonly the small childs or the new infantis were fed by the mother's milk, but when we are going to consider the man will be older, when the child will be older, it going to be take the food by swallowing. So I am considering some of the organisms here, how they are going to, living organisms, how they are going to feed the food. First one example here, the snail going to eat the grass. The snail is going to eat grass, but how is feeding that food product? By chewing. It uses its teeth and chew the food particles, and the digestion process will be continuous. And I am taking another one example here, the butterfly. What is the food of the butterfly? It is nothing but the nectar. Where the nectar is present? The nectar is present in the flowers, the beautiful flowers. The butterfly is going to ingest the nectar by the mode of sucking. So what is the mode of the butterfly to take the food is by the sucking. And another one example, ant. What it eats? It eats the insects, that the decayed body. So how it's going to feed? It's going to feed by the scraping. This is the types of the feeding of some different organisms. So all the organisms doesn't has the similar way or the same way of feeding. So it is nothing but the ingestion. So next we are going to move about the second step of the nutrition, that is digestion. What is digestion? So as you know already, the plants produces the food particles. That food particles contains carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and also starch. So these are the food products. These are the materials which are contains the fruits, but these products, these food materials are very complex. What is meant by the digestion is the the process of breakdown of complex products into simpler substances. What is digestion? The process of breakdown of complex products of a food into simpler substances is known as a digestion. What happens in the digestion process? What is digestion? The digestion is nothing but the process of breakdown of the food particles into simpler substances, because the food particles contain complex products. The process of breakdown of complex products of a food particles into simpler substances is known as a digestion. So digestion in the human. Now let us study how the digestion of the food will be going on in our body. Digestion in human. Digestion in human starts with the buccal cavity and ends with the anus. So this is the long canal. This is the long canal. So it has some components. It divided into some components. What are the subcomponents of the digestive system of the human body? Are first one is the buccal cavity. Second one is food pipe or esophagus. Third one is the stomach. Fourth one is a small intestine. Fifth one is a large intestine and anus. This is the long canal which the food will be moved through the body. See, the digestion of the food starts from the buccal cavity. This is the buccal cavity of a man. Starts from here and ends with the anus. So this is the digestive canal, long way of the digestive canal. So this digestive canal, it is nothing but it also called it as an alimentary canal. Why we are going to call it as alimentary canal, I will say next. So this digestive system, in the digestive system, the food will be digested at the every part of the component. The food will be digested at the every part of the component. First I am going to consider here first buccal cavity. What happens in the buccal cavity? The digestion of the food starts with the buccal cavity. Buccal cavity, it is nothing but our mouth. So this mouth contains two jaws, upper jaws and lower jaws. So digestion of the food starts with the mouth or a buccal cavity. Buccal cavity has upper jaw and lower jaw. Each jaw has equal number of teeth and equal structure. Each buccal cavity has equal number of teeth, and the teeth they are going to named in a different way according to their work. So now I am considering only the lower jaw. I am considering only the lower jaw. Our lower jaw has first at the front of our lower jaw we have the 4 teeth, and those 4 teeth we have the 4 teeth on a lower jaw and also upper jaw. These 4 teeth are called it as a incisor teeth. These 4 teeth are called it as a incisor teeth. Why we are going to call it as a incisor teeth? Because of their structure and their work. We are going to name it as a incisor teeth. These teeth are going to use for cutting and biting the food material. That's why we are call it as these are incisor teeth. And remember here, every teeth will be rooted in a separate socket. Every teeth will be rooted in a separate sockets. Okay, both the cavities, the upper jaw and the lower jaw has a similar number of same type of the teeth. At the front we have the 4 teeth. That teeth are called it as a incisor teeth. Why? Because the character, the work of the incisor teeth is cutting and biting. It is the cutting and biting of the food material. So we call it as a incisor teeth. Beside the incisor teeth, we have 2. At the one jaw we have 2 teeth. That teeth are called it as canine teeth. What they are canine teeth? Why we are going to call it as a canine teeth? Because the work of canine teeth is piercing and tearing. The work of the canine teeth is piercing and tearing. Due to this work, these teeth are called it as a canine teeth. Beside that, we have 2 pairs of another 2 teeth, type of teeth, that are called it as a premolar teeth. This two, this side 2 and this side 2. Total 4 teeth at a lower jaw and 4 teeth at the upper jaw. These teeth are called as a premolar teeth, and another 6 teeth are present. Here 3 teeth and here 3 teeth. We are going to call it as a premolar teeth. 6 premolar teeth are 4 premolar teeth and the 6 molar teeth are present. Why we are going to call it as a molar teeth? Because the work of the molar and the premolar teeth is chewing and grinding the food material. Chewing and grinding the food material. So why I am going to tell? Because the digestion in human starts with the buccal cavity. What happens in the buccal cavity? The food material contains large components. In the first step of the buccal cavity, using the teeth by chewing or by grinding, that food material will be converted into small components using the teeth. And also in the buccal cavity we have a salivary glands. These salivary glands secretes juices called saliva. So these salivary gland secretes the juices called saliva, that is also helpful for the digestion process, which converts starch, the starch into glucose, or which converts the starch which is present in the food material. So here salivary glands, liver and pancreas. See, these salivary glands and liver and pancreas are present throughout are present at the digestive system, and these glands secrete some juices, and that juices are also helpful for the digestion process. I am here taking only salivary glands that secretes juices called saliva, that is helpful for the conversion of starch into sugar. So the digestive tract constitute with the glands is called it as a digestive system. This digestive tract, the long way tract, constitute with the glands. The glands are nothing but salivary glands, pancreas, stomach. These are also secrete some juices, that is also helpful for the digestion of the food. So these tract with all the glands, it is called it as a digestive system. So once again I am repeating here what happens in the buccal cavity. Buccal cavity has number of tooths. These tooths are helpful for grinding and cutting into the food, grinding and cutting of the food particles into the small things. So the digestion of the food will be started at the buccal cavity, and also in the buccal cavity we has salivary glands which secretes the saliva, that is also helpful for conversion of starch which is present in the food material into the sugars. So the digestive system starts with the buccal cavity. It is all about buccal cavity. So this is the first step of digestive system in the human. Next one is the food pipe or a esophagus, that how the food will be goes through esophagus, or how the food will be go through the esophagus or the food pipe will be studied in the next class. Thank you.